Man, what's going on, man? It's your boy Hatter Ali from the FFL, and we got my boy, special guest, man, my guy, the fantasy football counselor in the building. What's going on, G?
Ready to dive in, talk some fantasy football, talk about some Kinshipsis. Let's dive in. Let's rip into some players, rip into some analysts. I'm down for anything.
All right, man. I know you down for anything. You said you want to rep into some players, man. You okay, man? What's up with you and Cooper Cup, man?
Cooper Kupp. I mean, what has he ever done prior to the one big year? He was always an average wide receiver. He has one good year on a coincidentally the same year where the team is built up to win the Super Bowl. Like conspiracy this, conspiracy that. The fix was in. These guys were primed to win. They
Right,
got the stadium, they got the players. They bring in Matt Stafford, who is a crap player his entire career, mediocre at best. Comes in, they build up a good defense. All of a sudden, Cooper Kupp gets force fed a bazillion targets. And that's what I told you last year. I'm like, avoid him. The guy is going to eventually get hurt or something's going to happen. He got hurt as I predicted. It's like, Joey can't predict injuries, which I really can't. But I factored in a regression when he got hurt. I'm like, I told you a regression was due. Everyone's drafting Cooper Kupp last year. So I just don't believe in them. I don't believe in the system anymore. They had their hurrah. And yeah, just not really a Cooper Kupp guy. And as you can see, he's already banged up.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, he is banged up. But before I begin on Cooper Cup, let me kiss this trophy first, because he got me this. You know what I'm
Right.
saying, in 21.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I was saying, like you were saying last year, I was there with my dudes from the league, man,
Right.
when he got hurt, and I'm like, oh my god, bro, like that injury, bro. I was like, oh no, like this is something else. He's definitely done for the season. And then obviously what went down yesterday, depends on when you guys watching this video. It comes out with a hamstring, and hammy is gonna linger now. That thing's definitely gonna linger, and it's a question mark, man. Like
Right.
now, he was at first he was like the third round pick, a third pick in the draft, or a fourth.
Right.
Now is I don't know, man. I don't think that's gonna be the scenario now, right? And when it comes to, like, let's say Jamar Chase, Burrow getting hurt now. What you think, man? Do you think Jamar's going low now?
No, I think nothing really changes. I just, for some weird reason, I got like this spidey sense intuition with certain players, right? I'm gravitating more towards Herbert and Lawrence this year. Burrow, not so much. And maybe because he's been hurt in the past. I know he's already showing signs of injuries. I'm still in on Jamar Chase getting that volume, but I just don't feel warm and fuzzy about Burrow for some reason. I don't know what it is. And then maybe it was this injury that kind of reinforced my suspicions, but there's something about Joe Burrow. I don't know. I don't feel warm and fuzzy, but either way, the contract year upside for him and Chase. So no reason to get too worried, I don't think, about that situation.
Right. But I mean, as far as it comes to, I would say, wide
Yeah.
receivers. I mean, if you were, let's say you were the first pick in the draft, who would you be leaning on the most?
I'm going by Jan Robinson. I call him by Jan because that's how it looks like, right? When you read it, it's by Jan. And everyone's calling him Bijan, like Beejahon. So I call him by Jan. That's the guy I like, man. I'm all in on him.
Man, you saying that's gonna be your first pick in the draft?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. I mean, everybody gets so shocked. I mean, this is not a shock. I mean, last year, everybody had Jonathan Taylor. What happened to Jonathan Taylor? Everybody had Cooper Kupp. What happened to Cooper Kupp? What happens last year doesn't happen again the same way this year. The only time somebody repeated a running back, particularly 2 years on top, was Priest Holmes, 2002, 2003. This doesn't happen. Declines happen. CMC is going to get hurt. Austin Eckler, we see a significant decline with the new offensive coordinator, addition to Quentin Johnston. They're going to be airing the ball out a lot more. 127 targets. Eckler will not see this. So all the guys that finished on top last year, very unlikely they're going to repeat. Other guys slide in, and Bijan is the guy. Bijan is the guy that's going to slide into there and become the top guy.
Well, man, your boy Bijan, like you were saying,
Bijan.
Bijan,
Yeah.
might not be, it probably be a Bijan in my book, because I don't know, man. I mean, look, he got that name and all that, and he did what he did in college, but you got to see something, in the NFL. This is a big boy league, and I feel like him having two dogs behind him with Algier and Cordell Patterson, and I know
Right.
you're familiar with Patterson, what he did
Yeah.
in fantasy for some of the cats last year and a year before. I mean, I don't know, bro. I don't think I would pull the trigger on him just maybe this year. Because obviously you and me, we're not in leagues for $10 or like
Yeah,
$15.
yeah. I'm in a
You know, we
$2,000 buy-in in one of the
yeah,
leagues.
yeah. I mean, we cannot be taking risks, man. So as a brother to brother, man, I might try to get you out of that because I mean,
Too
I
late.
don't
I'm
know,
already
bro.
in. I'm
Oh,
already in.
you're already in. Oh, so
No
hey,
risk
it
it.
is.
No
If
risk
I
it, no
okay.
biscuit. No risk it, no biscuit. And like I said, CMC is a risk. The guy played 10 games in
Well, I
2020.
wouldn't pick. I wouldn't do CMC either. Funny story about him.
Yeah,
And you can elaborate on that. I picked him up in 2020 as my
right.
first pick, and you know what happened in
Yeah,
2020, right?
yeah. Didn't play.
And didn't play, got hurt, blah blah blah. And I was tripping out, man. Thankfully I still made to the championship, and I had no running backs. Here's the trophy for that. Guess who I had Guess who I had in there, man, as my running back? Jared Patterson, Boston Scott. That's how I
Wow.
won the chip, man. That's how I won the chip. And you and me, we cut from the same cloth. We know who to plug and play.
Yeah,
But some of these noobs, man, they would if they lost CMC, they're gonna start shivering and stuff.
yeah.
So I feel like you can elaborate on what you think CMC might do this year.
Yeah, I mean, Elijah Mitchell, played like 5 games, I think it was last year. Didn't really get going. You got a healthy offense, got a healthy Kittle. You could probably step up a little bit more. Debo Samuel underperformed. Then you got the quarterback situation. Is Brock the real deal? How many checkdowns? I just too many question marks to invest that high in a guy who's not a young dude anymore. I mean, he's still capable, he's still strong, he's still viable, but just too expensive coming off that pinnacle year last year. It's not going to happen again. I just don't see it happening. I just
Right.
don't see him performing at his ADP. I think he's going to be a big time bust. Again, I could be wrong, but I like Bijan because they run the ball a lot, 500 times last year. Falcons offense, Ritter probably a little settled in now. They've got Drake London and hopefully a healthy Kyle Pitts. I think they'll be fine. I think the other guys, Algier Patterson, they'll be used. I mean, Patterson came into the league as a wide receiver. I don't see him as a threat. You don't draft a guy, for their first overall pick in the draft, the top prospect at running back, and sit him. So he's looking at 250 attempts as a floor, 12
Right.
touchdowns, 30, 40 receptions. This is like floor numbers for Bijan. He's really good.
Well, see, I don't really see, like you were saying with Brock. I don't really see, he's gonna be doing much anything this year. I mean, he got. I feel like last year people didn't have a tape on him, right?
Yeah.
And he was just flying around. You know what I mean? And then eventually he did get hurt, but I don't know, man. As a 49ers team as a whole, I don't know they're gonna do much this year. I know they got my dude, my dog, my boys, man. The Commanders did them wrong.
Yeah.
Trent Williams over there to protect, but I still don't think 49ers is gonna be what they are this year. But when it comes to quarterbacks, what round you're looking at to snag them?
Yeah, I mean, this is the year where if you invest a third round pick in a 12-person league redraft, you're going to be looking at your Hurts, your Allen, your Mahomes. I'm probably going to in one league back. I drafted, believe it or not, in April. I was drafting in April. I ended up getting Josh Allen. I'm looking at Herbert now, rounds 5 to 6. I like that ADP because I'm able to secure the players that I want in the early rounds, and I'm able to get Herbert, and I think he's gonna have a great year this year. I'm all in on him. I think he's the best quarterback in the league.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Herbert. Okay. One of my dudes is gonna be happy as hell to hear that from my league, man, because
Chargers
he's a
fan?
Chargers fan. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He'd be coming with a Chargers jersey and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Herbert. I mean, what do you think? What do you think is gonna enhance his year this year
Oh,
with
Quentin
Herbert?
Johnston. He's the wide
Okay.
receiver one. I don't care what
Right.
anybody says. It's like the way I look at it is like Keenan Allen coming off round 3. Why? The guy's 100 years old. He's 31
Right.
years old. He's been banged up. Mike Williams can't stay healthy to save his life. He was never that good. I mean, he gets the
Right.
50-50 balls, but at the end of the day, man, Quentin Johnston's a first round pick. He's looking good. I'm watching the videos. Drafting Keenan Allen round 3 would literally be like drafting Thielen ahead of Jefferson last year. Why would you not get Quentin Johnston, who's going to be the wide receiver one in round 7 to 9? It doesn't make
Right.
any sense to me. He's young, he's dynamic, he's the future, right? And Herbert throws more than anybody. He was second in passing attempts last year with a banged up wide receiver core. So they're going to get the volume, they're going to get the attempts. Quentin Johnston's going to shine. No question about it. He's in all my leagues. So yeah, I mean, they're going to be a new offensive coordinator. Herbert's going to destroy it this year.
Okay. And then, when it comes to Jacobs, a big name now, and did a lot of stuff for some of these dudes last year.
Yeah.
What he's going through. If he's there around third round, you gonna pick him up?
I think he had his last hurrah last year. Not even last hurrah. I think he had a pinnacle year. He was never a great running back. He was always a third, fourth round guy, always there with David Montgomery. I'm not sold on the guy. Don't like his personality, to be honest. We had it out on social media. I don't know what happened. I think I said he sucked in a game. Well, I met him when he came in as a rookie. I took a picture with him. I was at the draft. Seemed like a nice dude. And then I said he sucked or something. And then he came at me in the DM saying something like, "You know where I'm at, pull up, let's fight," basically. I said, "If you're down to fight," first of all, I didn't know where he was at. And he called me cousin. I'm not his cousin. We have no relations together.
He call you cousin, huh,
Call me
bro?
cuz.
Hey, he's serious if he calling you cousin, bro.
He called me cuz. And then he says, "Pull up, you know where I'm at." I had no idea where he was at this moment. So it was a false statement. So I said, "Hey, if you want a box, let's do it." And I posted this, and then he ends up blocking me. So that's Josh Jacobs for you. But yeah, I mean,
Man.
I'm gonna have no Josh Jacobs stock. Maybe that's personal. So
You might need to get you might need to get an agent or something and get yourself a little pay-per-view match with him, man. Some little offside type thing, you
in,
know?
in a couple years, and all these guys that fight me, like, who are you? Who do you think you are? Le'Veon Bell called me out. He never wanted to fight after. All these guys that are relevant right now are washed up. Nobody remembers them. Like, as big as Matt Forte was, I was a Matt Forte owner back. If you guys don't know, Bears. Everybody kind of knew who he was, but he's not relevant no more. Like, young kids coming up right now, 18, 19-year-olds, right, that are playing fantasy, they don't know who Matt Forte is, right? So it's like all these guys that think that they could trash talk me, like, you're not even relevant after 4 or 5 years. So shut up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know, man. I know what you're talking about with that. I
Yeah.
definitely understand with the little, obviously I call them, little fishes, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. It's all good.
obviously, yeah, well, we don't really mess with fishes because we don't have those type of fishes at all in our leagues, So, but
Yeah.
that's why we have our channels to give them a little information and what fantasy is really about, right? But man, you kind of confusing me here, man, with your background with the Cowboys and Colts helmets. What's up with that? What's up with that? What type of mix is that, bro?
And the
First of all,
Dolphins.
first of all, the Cowboys, you gotta burn that thing, bro. I mean, come on, you have to throw that helmet away. I can
So,
send you a commander one if you want, bro. But
so
you
my
gotta throw
co-host,
that.
my co-host Gwen, right? She's an
Okay.
Eagles fan. Sometimes I'm wearing the Eagles hat and the
Oh
Cowboys.
my
The
lord.
point I'm trying to prove is I have no team loyalty. I'm all about fantasy relevance. So
Okay,
Cowboys,
that's good. That's good.
Zeke was fantasy relevant. I'm an Eagles fan because I like Jalen Hurts. I'm just a big Jalen Hurts fan, right? I think he's a great
Well,
player.
you should tell your co-host, man. I mean, when we broke the undefeated record last year, she should just have changed her team then.
Okay. You guys should get on together and debate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I would probably make her cry, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, who goes to the Super Bowl and starts wasting time like it's a mutt game, ultimate team game when you're in the Super Bowl, try to
Yeah.
waste time. That's what you try to do. That's not
Yeah.
gonna work in the Super Bowl, man.
No, not at all. I mean, they just didn't have the experience that Mahomes did. So
Right. Right. But okay, so you kind of like a referee. You like old teams.
yeah, I just like anywhere my players, like, I'm a big Falcons fan this year just because of
Okay.
Bijan. I mean, that's all it is.
Right, right.
I go for wherever my players are.
Hey, but I know you're gonna be like, I know you're gonna be punching the air, on the goal line if they try to bring in
Algier.
Cordell Patterson or something or
Oh, I'm
Algier.
gonna lose it.
I
That's
know,
what
I
I
know
read.
you're gonna lose it. I know if I put this podcast on back on, all the helmets gonna be knocked out and shit like that, bro. For real.
I was a big
For real.
Walker fan. Like, for example, I don't know if you saw my rant. It got like 50,000 organic
Right,
views on Instagram, just on a
right,
reel. I
right,
lost it when the Seahawks drafted Zach Chabernet.
right, right,
Because I was a Walker guy last year. I
right,
told him to draft him over Penny.
right.
So yeah, I lose it when things don't go fantasy way. Right now, I'm ready to erupt because Dalvin Cook's lingering, and I have Brees Hall in a $2,000 buy-in league, and I
Right.
was kind of like questioning Brees Hall. I was kind of on the turn here on the second, third round. I was looking at Najee. I think he's a safe play there. And I just went Brees. I wanted that upside. I wanted to go all in, go in or go home. And the fact that Cook at the time of this recording is flirting with the Jets, and Stevenson, I mean, he's got such good value at the Patriots, but they keep looking at like guys like Zeke and other people. Watch those situations. It could get messy there with the Patriots and the Jets. Not good
Right,
fantasy.
right.
I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it.
And I obviously Brees, coming off the injury, I don't know if I would trust him either, obviously. And Stevenson kind of just had that, amazing year last year. Will that happen again, or was that a one-hit wonder? We shall see. But when it comes to Kenneth Walker, I mean, he did kind of establish himself as a RB1
He did.
last year. Do you think he's gonna have that same volume and the same stats as he did last year?
Well, 3 red flags with Kenneth Walker. I was an owner last year. He went down with like this non-contact injury at the sideline. I think it was his ankle or calf or whatever. Missed a game. I said he sucked. Because of that injury, he ends up blocking me. So that was like my first sign. Like, is this guy injury prone? And then the draft comes in. They draft Zach Charbonnet. I'm like, okay, hold on a second. Maybe the Seahawks know something we don't. So that's 2 red flags. And then just recently, this past week, again, at the time it's recorded, we're talking early August, late July when we're talking about this. He was down with a groin injury. No expected time to come back. This proves to me that he's injury prone. And for the fact that they drafted Charbonnet so early in the second round, this guy's a workhorse in his own right. And he's got his
Right.
share of injuries too, because he's banged up with his shoulder. We don't know how long he's out for. But I'm staying away. I'm going to have no Kenneth Walker stock. That being said, he could still be a league winner. I personally turned off of him at this moment in time.
Okay,
Yeah.
definitely, man. Definitely. Hey man, my boy, I appreciate you coming up on here and teaching the fishes, obviously to not mess with you and obviously come correct, in your DMs for sure. But hey, good luck to you this season with fantasy. And I'm gonna bring you back on during the season and see what's going on, man. Like, see what the haps are in
Yeah.
the league at that time for sure.
Yeah, man. And we're gonna take out one can sheeps at a time, bring in the best content, with the fantasy football counselor. I will not be beaten, I will not be outworked. So yeah, I appreciate all the
Oh,
other analysts coming on. I appreciate their hustle, but yeah, the
for
Lions in the
sure.
house. The Lions in the house.
Lions in the house, man.
Yeah.
Lions in the house. There we go, man. Go follow him on Instagram at Fantasy Football Counselor and follow me as well at FFL ESPN and my YouTube channel at FFL ESPN. Stay tuned for more, guys.
We're out. Thanks, Hatter.